canned salmon. Now, is this cool looking or what? We're going to taste test today, and we set it up to look like Expo West, maybe. Well,
you are such an Expo West junkie. I mean, you know, most people don't know about Expo West, Mom.
Oh, that's true.
But actually, so we are tasting two kinds of salmon. These are both canned sockeye salmon. Sockeye, if you've never had it, is very rich in color. If you've probably had pink canned salmon, if you've had canned salmon. Regular canned salmon in a grocery store is going to be pink salmon instead of sockeye, which is a very light color that looks closer to a tuna, and you know, tastes a little bit like that as well. And it's a cheaper canned salmon. This is sockeye. It's more expensive, and it's worth the price difference. I mean, if you've got the money. So we have two different kinds of canned sockeye. The color, the richness, the color actually comes from what the salmon are eating. They eat the same thing that makes flamingos' feathers pink. Makes the salmon kind of a pink orange color, a really deep rich color, astaxanthin. So let's give it a shot.
Will I get a little pink if I, well, let's see.
Let's see how much we eat.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Both of these canned sockeye salmons are very flavorful. They're both fairly tender as well, but there is a noticeable difference in texture between the two of these. And this that we're tasting here, this is the first time you've actually even tasted this salmon.
Wonderful. The texture and the flavor is very much like fresh cooked salmon. This does not taste like canned salmon. Very tender, very full of flavor. Let me try this other one. I mean, it all smells wonderful. The texture is quite different. With the second one, it's dry, rather like tuna. In the first couple of bites, first couple of chomps, is a flavor explosion, and it's great. But as I continue to chew, there's less and less flavor. And at this point, it's rather dry like tuna that's had all of its juices chewed out. That sounds terrible, but you know, that's, you asked my opinion and I gave it to you.
No, that's true, and I think a lot of us associate that dryness and that texture with you know, basic canned tuna. And so this is, you know, the difference in quality. Of course, you know, it's priced higher, but once you taste it side by side, you can really taste the quality difference.
Well, you can see the difference too. The one that tastes like freshly cooked salmon also looks like freshly cooked salmon. The color is just much brighter, much better. The other one has kind of a gray tinge to it. It's not gray fish, but it's a grayish tinge that's not there with the first one that we tried.
You know, that's a good point, because I have a little piece on my fork. And looking at this, would you know if that was canned salmon?
I would assume it wasn't.
Right. Same here. Same here. And the quality is so good that you really could put it right on a cracker and eat it as is. It doesn't need anything else.
Or break it up and put it over top of a salad. Really, it doesn't need anything else.
Right, right. And so I like this as in terms of you know, prioritizing your budget. This is a really good travel food because you don't, I mean, you could eat it out of the can. I mean, it's simply that good. And frankly, I would never even think of going into a supermarket and buying a can of pink salmon and pulling out a fork and eating it.
No, no, please.
But you could do that with this, and so it travels so nicely. I think this is really the ultimate in healthy travel food. It's high in omega-3s, and I mentioned the pink color. That comes from the astaxanthin that the fish eat, and astaxanthin is actually that they're finding that it's an antioxidant. Who knew all these years that not only is it making the flamingo pink, but it also might be making that flamingo more healthy and this salmon more healthy as well. And perhaps as we eat it, the bonus that we get on top of all these omega-3s is an antioxidant as well. That's pretty exciting.
Very exciting. So I could turn pink and young while I'm enjoying this incredible salmon.